Okay, here is your Unit 1 test. You're going to see as we go through this that you need to have all of your learning activities completed in order to complete the test. So I was not kidding when I said, I think in one of the videos at the beginning of the course, that you do need to do all of the activities that you're given. Okay, I just want to show you a few things. So the first one is to consider challenges for Canada's families. So that was one of our more recent learning activities where you got to choose, I think it was challenges of newcomer families, challenges of Aboriginal families, those kinds of things, and put them in order from most challenging for a family to cope with, or the most challenging situation a family could be in, to the least one, just the three that you chose. The important part here is to explain why. Okay, it doesn't mean that the one on the bottom, the one that is least challenging, is not challenging. It just means that you have decided that it's less challenging than the one above it. Well, why is that? What is it about that would be more manageable or less challenging? Okay, I like these kinds of questions because these just like and whereas statements allow you to see the similarities and differences between concepts in a course. So whereas is always going to be a difference. So you'll notice the word whereas is in the middle of the sentence. So we've got two diseases here. So pretend it's biology or nutrition class or something. Cancer is partly caused by lifestyle choices, whereas Huntington's disease is caused by genetics. So they're different. How are they different? This is how they're different. So that would count as one of your four. This one, so notice that I'm using two different diseases now. You could go to a different note. You could choose to also have a cancer Huntington disease. Obviously, these are out of context for our course, but you could use the same ideas and do a just like, right, statement. So heart disease is often treated with diet and exercise changes, just like obesity. So this is a similarity. So there's a statement, there's a statement. So that's 1, 2. So you're going to do 4 of those based on information from our notes. Okay, the family types we've learned about: agriculture, prehistoric, so looking at those notes. Okay, you have a note that I think I just outright gave you called the family life cycle. Which one of those stages do you think would be the most challenging or stressful to live through, and why do you feel this way? Okay, this one. So you're going to choose either the family functions or the characteristics of strong families. Those are two separate notes. So choose one or the other. Then you're going to go back to those notes about the different types of families through history, like pre-industrial families, agricultural families. And you're going to imagine that a family is living in that time of time or place. And you're going to put either those functions or those characteristics in order from, how do I word it here? From most important to least important. So for example, reproduction as a function of families. So at some points in time, that is crucial, right? When you think about some of those family forms where having a lot of children and young people around was really important to make sure that you had enough people to do all of the work, that would be somewhere up near the top. Whereas in other times and places in the history of family life, it's not as important to have a whole bunch of children. That's not as necessary. And growing a population becomes less important as time goes on as well. So you may find it down here. Again, the trick is to explain why. Why is it not? So say you have reproduction here and you've got socialization of here. Why for this family in this particular time in history? Why is it more important to make sure that the children that you have understand how to exist in that society? And why is it less important that you have a lot of children? So this one is less important than this one because, or this is more important than this one because. Okay, so you're doing all of these comparisons all the way down. Okay, this is the part that really matters. It's the reasons why. Okay, I've got a TED Talk for you to watch by this really dynamic guy, and you might get addicted to him. He's fascinating, Hans Rosling. He has a lot to say about stats, which for some of you may not seem fascinating, but trust me, he's just so animated, interesting. It's awesome. And I want you to think about and talk a little bit about what he has to say about data collection and statistics and what we know and don't know or misinterpret about the world. How does that sort of fall in line with what we've been doing so far in this course? In terms of what you learned and in terms of the rules that we have in this course for finding good sources, and what it was like doing that family forms assignment where you had to go looking for stats and interpreting them and trying to figure out what the story was on family life here and elsewhere. Okay, final question. This is a make-believe circumstance, but you're going to use our actual notes about statistics related to family life. So, age at first marriage, marriage rates, I think we had divorce rates, childbearing rates, like the birth rate perhaps, whatever it was. This is the one where you made the graphs and put them in a slideshow. So, for example, during these years, this group of females are sent away. What might that do to marriage rates while they're gone? Would it have them go up, go down? Why? What would it do to the birth rate? Would it increase? Would it decrease? Why? Okay, so you don't need 10 relationships, you need 5. So I would make a chart with perhaps maybe a 2-column chart where you've got the time and what happened from up here, and then you've got the stats and why it would, how it would be impacted and why in the other column. So you need 5 rows. So there's way more here than you need. And feel free, if this stat here, if this statistic you think connects to a few different, if it connects to 3 of our different rates, so say you can make a connection for age at first marriage, you can make a connection to marriage rates, and you can make a connection to birth rate, let's say, then use it for 3 separate rows. That's fair enough. So there's tons of stuff here to choose from. All right, so that's the unit test.